Now we will see functions of tubules. When the glomerular filtrate or primary urine passes through the renal tubule, water and different materials of filtrate get reabsorbed at various places. These are given below. Which places they reabsorb? Proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, and again distal convoluted tubule, collecting duct. Okay. First, proximal convoluted tubule. The epithelial cells of proximal convoluted tubule have numerous microvilli. Microvilli means small hair-like, simple cuboidal brush border epithelium, which increase the surface area available for reabsorption. The process of reabsorption, mostly 65%, takes place within proximal convoluted tubule, that is nearly all of the essential nutrients, 70 to 80% of electrolytes and water. The proximal convoluted tubule also helps in absorption of bicarbonate. Absorption of bicarbonate from the filtrate. Selective secretion of hydrogen ions, ammonia and potassium ions takes place here to maintain the pH and ionic balance of body fluids. The filtrate is considered as isotonic to blood plasma. Isotonic to blood plasma means very similar to blood. What happens here in proximal convoluted tubule? Nutrients, water and electrolytes like potassium, carbonates are reabsorbed and hydrogen ion, and selective secretion, which ammonia, which the body doesn't want, is secreted out. Now the Henle's loop. Reabsorption in the Henle's loop is minimum. Besides this, it plays an important role in maintaining the high osmolarity of medullary interstitial fluid. Two portions of Henle's loop play different role in osmoregulation. These are descending, ascending. One which comes down, then other goes up. Descending limb of loop of Henle, water is reabsorbed here due to increasing osmolarity of interstitial fluid. But sodium and other electrolytes are not reabsorbed here. Water is reabsorbed. What is reabsorbed here? Water. This concentrates the filtrate as it moves down. When the water is less, the urine becomes more concentrated. Ascending limb of loop of Henle. Ascending means which goes up. This segment is permeable to water but impermeable to water, but permeable to potassium, chloride and sodium, and partially permeable to urea. That is, water cannot pass, but potassium, chloride and sodium can pass. Thus, in the thick ascending limb of loop of Henle, sodium, potassium, magnesium, chloride are reabsorbed. Therefore, as the concentrated filtrate pass upwards, it gets diluted due to the passing out of electrolytes to the medullary fluid of kidney. Now this concentrated filtrate pass upwards and goes out of the kidney. Now the distal convoluted tubule. Active reabsorption of sodium ions from the filtrate takes place under the influence of aldosterone. Aldosterone is an hormone. Again some sodium is there left. It is reabsorbed by the influence of aldosterone because body needs sodium. Water is also reabsorbed here. Also some water H2O molecule is there. It is reabsorbed with associated secretion of potassium, hydrogen and ammonia, and which we don't want. The ions which we don't want like potassium, hydrogen, ammonia are given out. The distal convoluted tubule is also capable of reabsorption of some chloride ions and carbonate. It is necessary to maintain the pH and sodium-potassium balance in the blood. This makes the filtrate isotonic to blood plasma. So see, this is glomerulus. This is afferent efferent arterioles. Here the blood clumps with all the waste products. From here the filtrate, glomerular filtrate is separated. This is proximal convoluted tubule. In this proximal convoluted tubule, bicarbonates, NaCl, H2O, nutrients, potassium are reabsorbed, and hydrogen ions, ammonia are taken inside and to form the urine. Now this filtrate goes to descending limb. From this descending limb, again, which is necessary, water is reabsorbed. And when it goes up in ascending limb, the necessary sodium is reabsorbed, and urea, which we don't want, or ammonia, which we don't want, is taken inside to form urine. Again in distal convoluted tubule, which we want, which is necessary, that is sodium, water, bicarbonates is reabsorbed, and which we don't want, that is potassium, hydrogen ions or waste products is taken inside and sent to collecting tube, and from this collecting tube urine is sent out of kidney. Now we will see collecting duct. This duct extends from the cortex of the kidney to the inner parts of the medulla and is highly permeable to water. That means water can pass. Thus, a considerable amount of water is reabsorbed here under the influence of aldosterone ADH to produce concentrated filtrate. Sodium ions are also reabsorbed here as release of aldosterone increases the permeability of wall of distal convoluted tubule for sodium ions. Other parts of nephron, where how much they can absorb sodium or useful water molecules they absorb. Again in collecting duct, under the influence of hormone ADH or aldosterone, again the necessary sodium and water is reabsorbed. The collecting tubule allows passage of small amounts of urea into the medullary interstitial tissue to maintain the osmolarity. It also plays an important role in the maintenance of pH and ionic balance of the blood by the selective secretion of hydrogen and potassium ions. Therefore, the filtrate is now becomes urine. This urine is isotonic to medullary fluid and hypertonic to blood. Because it has more waste products, it is hypertonic to blood. And isotonic to medullary fluid because similar urea or ammonia molecules are there, or hydrogen and bicarbonates molecules are there. Concentration of important ions and other substrates in the blood are controlled by regulating levels of water in the blood. Now we will see osmoregulation. In short, it is written, the composition of body fluids is influenced more by the output through the kidneys than by the intake via the gut. Therefore, the kidneys are important guardians of internal environment because the output of our body is controlled by kidney and intake is controlled by gut. Gut means stomach. By means of the regulated production of urine from the blood, and the nephrons carry out the dual process of excretion and osmoregulation. Nephrons carry out two processes, excretion and osmoregulation. They maintain body fluids also. The two types of how they maintain body fluids, if water is more in the body, they throw out, and water is less in the body, they reabsorb water molecules from urine. The two types of nephrons, differing both in their position in the kidney and in length of the loop of Henle, play an important role in osmoregulation. Cortical nephrons function most importantly when the water supply is normal to excessive, And juxtamedullary nephron work when water is in short supply. Juxtamedullary when we drink very little water, and cortical nephrons when we drink lots of water. In summer, you go more for urination, or in winter you go for more for urination? When you drink more water, in summer or in winter? Think.